Today we have the two men who are running for the mayor of Sartell. Ryan Fitzthum and David Peterson are both here. So, gentlemen, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Of course, it's an open seat because current Mayor Sarah Jane Nickel announced early this year, back in the spring, that she was not intending to run for re-election. So, David Peterson, let's talk a little bit about, first of all, you guys are both current city council members, so you've both run for and have won seats already in your city, and so people are probably pretty familiar with both of you. But David, we'll start with you. You were elected first to the city council in Sartell in 2006. Talk a little bit about who you are and tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, thank you, and thank you for having us here. It's important so individuals can listen to what we have to say and where we're at. So I've been on the council for 12 years, and I have two children, Devin and Lauren, and my wife, Christina. We've lived in Sartell for about 15 years now, and of those 15 years, like I said, 12 years have been on city council. Then I'm currently employed with the VA right now, and I've been in the military for 19 years. And currently serving with the Minnesota Army National Guard as well. So still with the Guard as well. So that's just a little bit about myself.
Okay. And Ryan, you first were elected to City Council in Sartell in 2016, so just a few years ago. Talk a little bit about who you are. What's your background?
Sure. So again, thanks for having us. We were talking off air that this was kind of the kickoff to a busy week for us, which is great for everyone in Sartell to understand who the candidates are and make informed votes come November. So born and raised in Sartell. My wife and I were actually high school sweethearts in Sartell, graduated together. We chose to raise our family in Sartell after we both were raised in Sartell. Great place, great family community feel. I've been on city council now for 2 years. Prior to that, Planning Commission and other boards and committees within Sartell and the community. Currently serve as a captain on our fire department in Sartell. Been on there for 10 years. And, again, 3 daughters, oldest of 5, youngest of 9 months. So looking forward to staying active and engaged in the community. So they have a great place to grow up as well.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about why you each decided to run for mayor. David, we'll start with you. Why did you want to throw your hat into the ring? And when did you first know you wanted to be mayor? Was it this spring when Sarah Jane announced she wasn't running, or have you thought about this for years now that you wanted to eventually become the mayor of Sartell?
Well, it was before Sarah had announced, so I thought about it with my family. I think the next 4 years is going to be a terribly exciting time in Sartell. I think there's going to be a lot of growth and opportunity within Sartell. And I've been proud to be part of the growth of Sartell over the last 12 years and seeing exciting times and new amenities come within Sartell and shaping the future of Sartell along with the other council members and mayors that I have served with throughout the past. It was a difficult decision because it is a big time commitment. I believe to be mayor of Sartell, I think as being mayor, you should be active within the community and try to go to as many events as you can and be an active mayor rather than a passive mayor. And so I spoke with my wife about that, and together we made a decision that even though our lives are busy, my son is a senior now, Devin, and my daughter Lauren is a junior. So we have been busy with them through activities. We've been a hockey family, baseball, tennis, and figure skating family. So we've been very active within the community. But I just wanted to be part of the continued growth of Sartell and helping shaping the future for the citizens of Sartell.
It's interesting. Both of you have probably very busy family lives, just on opposite ends of the child rearing scale. You've got, seniors or high school students who are very busy. And of course, David, Ryan, you've got the young children there. So Ryan, talk a little bit about why you want to be the mayor of Sartell, and when did you first think about or decide that maybe you someday did want to become the mayor of the city?
Sure. So that decision to become mayor, run for mayor, happened earlier this year. As we look to the growth, as we look to what our council was going to be, again, we have 2 seats today, council member seats that are being vacated. We really needed strong leadership to take that forward from the face of Sartell. I think if you think about Sartell, it's the most active and growing community in our region. With that, we need a very active and engaged leader, face of that city within the community. And so, so I've been on council for 2 years, but in that time, people can see that I've been very active and engaged. The council member that's on the most committees, subcommittees, boards representing Sartell. And so I want to take that forward to that mayoral position so that people can see that our mayor is active and engaged and out in the community, hearing people. Other element would be that I actually live, work, and play in Sartell, right? So as we think about that mayoral seat, that decisions made there impact the livelihoods of residents far more than something at the state or federal level. And so being able to have that view of living, working, playing in Sartell, every decision we make has an impact on one of those 3 areas, I think is uniquely beneficial to Sartell.
Yeah. You both have talked about growth, and I think we all know that Sartell has had maybe growing pains, or certainly it is the fastest growing community, certainly in the St. Cloud metro area. So that's a big deal. So especially when it comes to road construction, housing, the growth, how do you plan to, as the mayor, maybe manage that so that you can kind of control what's happening when it comes to putting in new roads or putting in new developments? David, what's your plan for managing the growth of Sartell?
Well, one of the things I believe in, and throughout the 12 years I've always believed in, is managed and planned growth. You have to have managed and planned growth as you move forward. You don't want to grow just to grow. I think if you grow just to grow, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make big mistakes. No matter what, as you're a growing city, you are going to make some mistakes. You want to keep those mistakes to as little as possible. So one of the things that you have to do is you have to work with the other council members. You have to work together as a team. You have to work with city staff. You have to be a team player and bring the team together to move the city forward. Now that goes through planning. You have to have meetings. You have to plan. You have to have discussions as a group, because even if somebody has an idea that you may disagree with, that may spawn somebody else to have an idea that for the growth of the cities, for the growth of the city to move forward, that into a idea that can actually move forward on there. So having meetings as a council as a whole and discussing ideas with all council members, I think is extremely important. If you stovepipe any of the council members, the city staff, or anybody else, you don't have that collaboration. You need to have that collaboration to move forward and to work as a team to get keep the taxes as low as you can while still providing the amenities and services that the citizens have come to expect and deserve.
Okay. How about you, Ryan? Obviously, I don't think any of us expect the growth of Sartell to slow down anytime soon. So how do you actively get out in front of that and manage that growth?
Yeah, I think it's through strategic planning. And so on my time, both as council and planning commission for multiple terms, we've put out planned growth within Sartell from a zoning perspective. And so right now, as I talk to a lot of people in the community, door knocking or other engagements within the community, the question is apartments. And that's a very hot topic in Sartell right now, is that we're growing tremendously through higher density multifamily. And so one of the areas is how do we continue to zone, and so that's growth is happening in the area or focal point that we as a community, not just a city council, but as a full community, desire, but also encourage other growth outside of multifamily to occur.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back and we're going to continue to talk to both Ryan and David, the 2 candidates running for mayor of Sartell, and we'll do that after our news break here on WJON.